Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to my channel Book of Duelists. So guys, it's been a long time. I've updated a video on my channel. I'm sorry for that. But today guys, I want to show you my Metalfoes deck profile for you. And yeah, Metalfoes get their support in the Blazing Vortex. After that, in the Ghost from the Past, Konami was reprinting the other Metalfoes cards. And I'm so excited to show my Metalfoes deck profile. And guys, if you're first time on my channel, hit the subscribe button if you like this video. And yeah, let's move on to the deck profile. Alright guys, let's start with the Metalfoes deck profile. Of course, we start with the main deck. In the main deck I play the rare Metalfoes Beast Yugioh. This card is very cool. If you destroy this card in the end phase, you can search another Metalfoes monster card from your deck to your hand. It's very fine. This card is your best searcher in your deck, and 3 copies of this card is absolutely mandatory. And yeah, you always want to see this card in your hand to destroy this card and use the pendulum effect about this card. And this card is absolutely fine. For the next, I play the vanilla monster, and I play the 3 copies of Metalfoes Deck. I play every vanilla Metalfoes card in 3 copies. I can search all of them with Rescue Rabbit, but not the Metalfoes Wolfflame. I like this card. It's a level 7 monster, and with level 7 monster I'm going to Absolute Dragon, and after that to the Untitled Vortex Dragon. This card is absolutely fine guys, and I always combine this card with Metalfoes Spellcaster to overlay these cards and make my Absolute Dragon, and after that the Untitled Vortex Dragon. For the next, of course, I play 3 copies of the Metalfoes Silvered. This card is absolutely fine. Every Metalfoes vanilla monster is fine. So, and I have always see this card in my hand, and I always set up this card and destroy them with their card effects. And that's a special thing about the Metalfoes card guys. Metalfoes cards, you can set up these cards in your pendulum zone, and after that use the pendulum effect of these cards, and then you can destroy the other Metalfoes cards. And if you do, you can set up your spell and trap Metalfoes cards from your deck to your side on the field. That's the special thing about the Metalfoes cards guys. And for the next, the effect Metalfoes card I've choose is 2 copies of Metalfoes Spellcaster. This card was supporting in the Blazing Vortex, and I think 2 copies about this card is absolutely fine. For the next, I play 1 copy of Metalfoes Vanisher. You always want to special summon this card guys. If you special summon this card, you can ban it one card from your opponent's monster, and that's absolutely fine. Special summon always this card guys. It's one of the best thing you can do with Metalfoes Vanisher. So that was for the Metalfoes cards I play in this deck. And let's move on for some generics or some other engines in this deck. I choose the 1 copy of Clifford Scout and 1 Monolith. These 2 cards are very cool. Why I choose these 2 cards? Because guys, I think if you set up the Scout in your pendulum zone, you can activate the effect of this card. You can pay 800 life points. After that you can search this guy, and if you search this guy and you have another Metalfoes card, destroy this card. And if you pendulum summon this turn, pendulum summon these 2 cards, and after that you overlay these 2 cards to special summon the Nova, and after that you can special summon the Infinity. And I think the Cyber Dragon engine in your extra deck is absolutely fine. You can get easily with these 2 cards. So for the next, I play one of my favorite cards, and I think it's the Luster Pendulum. I like this card guys. Luster Pendulum gets in the next month so important. This card is absolutely reprinted also in the Agent of Guardians. And yeah, guys, remember, Luster Pendulum gets more and more important. And keep up on this card. This card is absolutely broken with Ignis of Prominence. This card is absolutely crazy. You can choose one of your cards, you can pop up this card, and after that you can send one card from the field to the deck to the owner's side. And I think this card is definitely so powerful. After that, if you have this card in your Pendulum Zone, set up this card, and after that destroy one of your Metalfoes cards. You can get one Metalfoes card from your deck to your hand. This card is absolutely searches your other Metalfoes monster, and yeah, you can make some. After that, for example, you have Wolfflame in your hand, set up Wolfflame, and after that destroy this card, and then you can set your Pyramidal Fusion, use the effect of Pyramidal Fusion, and you can make some fusion stuffs on your side on the field. You can special summon the Metrilium or the Alcahest, and that's definitely fine. And I think 3 copies of this guy is absolutely fine. For the next guys, I play the 3 copies of Magical Abductor. Guys, I think this card is so busted in this deck. If you normal summon this card and you set up 2 Metalfoes cards in your Pendulum Zone, this card get 2 spell counters, and after that you can destroy one of your Metalfoes card in your Pendulum Zone, and then you can set up one Metalfoes card from your deck to the side on the field. For example, use the effect of a Metalfoes Fusion and fusion summon one of your Metalfoes cards from your extra deck to the side on the field, and after that use the effect of this card. If this card had only 3 spell counters, take them and get your Magician's Swords. And the next card I've played is 2 copies of Magician's Swords. If you want, you can play 3 copies, guys, but I've choose 2 copies because I have also Rescue Rabbit, and I have so many best starters or the best normal summon cards, and I think 2 copies of Magician's Swords is absolutely fine. But if you want, you can play 3, but I'm decided to play 2 copies, and I think 2 copies is absolutely fine. And yeah, with Magician's Swords you can set up your Metalfoes cards, and after that you can get there to the graveyard, and after that you can draw cards. And if you have Metalfoes Fusion in your side on the field and you have this card, send the Metalfoes Fusion to the graveyard. After that you can draw 1 card, and after that you can take the Metalfoes Fusion to the deck, and after that you can draw 1 card one more time. That's so nice. That's the reason why I play 2 copies of Magician's Swords. And for the next, I've played 1 copy of Mythical Beast, Jackal King, and 1 the Mighty Master Endymion. Yeah, with Magician's Swords you can send 1 of these to the graveyard, and after that you can special summon this card. It's absolutely nice. So for the last monster cards, I play in this deck 3 copies of Rescue Hamster. Rescue Hamster is one of the best normal summon cards, guys. If you normal summon this card, use this effect, banish this card, you can special summon 2 Metalfoes vanilla monster with the same name, and I think one of my times I special summon the Gold Driver, and after that I make my combos. And yeah, Rescue Hamster is absolutely mandatory for this deck, guys. 3 copies of this card, it's absolutely very powerful. So guys, that was for the monster cards in this deck. So let's move on for the spell cards. I think I want to see this card unbanned, but yeah, this card is limited to 1. And yeah, 1 copy for the Emergency Teleport. This card is absolutely fine. With this card you can search one of your Psychic monster with level 3 or lower. You can special summon that card. And for the next, I play Painful Decision. This card is absolutely fine. You can set one of your Metalfoes cards from your deck to the graveyard. After that you can choose one with the same name from your deck to your hand. 2 copies of this card is absolutely fine. For the last cards and the Metalfoes cards, 1 Metalfoes Fusion, one of the best cards in your deck. If this card in your graveyard, you can choose this card, put this card into your deck, and after that you can draw 1 card, and it's absolutely fine. It's one of the best. You can fusion summon with this card, and after that, if this card is in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card, and that's absolutely fine. For the next Pyramidal Fusion, this card was supported for the Metalfoes deck in the Blazing Vortex, and Pyramidal Fusion, 1 copy, it's absolutely fine. For the last 2 trap cards, I play 1 Metalfoes Counter and 1 Metalfoes Combination. Guys, by the way, I play only 1 of the Metalfoes spell and trap cards, because one of the other special thing about the Metalfoes cards, if you have Metallium recycles your card from the graveyard, and that's one of the things. I think the Metalfoes spell and trap cards, 1 copy of each, it's absolutely fine. I don't want to play more than 1. I think definitely 1 copy of them, it's absolutely fine. And definitely with Metallium, with this guy, you can recycle your cards, and that's absolutely fine. So for the next, let's move on to the extra deck. So of course I play 2 copies of this card, Metalfoes Metallium. This card is one of the best extra deck monster in this deck, and definitely one of the powerful cards from the Metalfoes fusion cards, and definitely 2 copies of this card is absolutely mandatory. For the next, I play 1 Alkahest. I've testing this deck, and I think you can play 2 Alkahest, but I've some other cool cards in my extra deck, and I think one of them it's absolutely okay. And also you can, I say it again guys, with Metallium you can recycle this card, and I think one of them is absolutely fine. So for the next, I play Pyramidal Assaultless. Yeah, this card is absolutely cool. The banish effect is nice, and for that was the Metalfoes extra deck cards. Let's move on for the 1 Absolute, 1 Vortex, one of the best. If you're playing a Pendulum decks, you are able to use the overlay 2 level 7 monsters. I can recommend for you guys, definitely play these 2 cards. That's absolutely strong. For the next, one of my favorite synchro monsters, this card, the Ignis of Prominence, the Draco Slayer. This card guys, it's one of the best mirror match cards in your extra deck ever. This card is absolutely strong. I'm so happy we get this card unlimited from the ban list. So cool. For the next, 1 Nova, 1 Infinity with the Clifford cards. You can get easily this card from your extra deck to the side on the field. For the link cards, 1 Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is so nice. 1 IP Masquerena. 1 Unicorn. 1 Phoenix. Absolutely fine. For the backup growth from your opponent's side on the field, you can pop up with these cards, and that's so cool. And for the next card, I've played Selene, where with Selene you can get your the Mighty Master or the Jackal King. If you have these cards in your graveyard, you can special summon with this card. Definitely so strong, Selene. And for the last link card, I play the Appaloosa. So guys, that's it for my Metalfoes deck profile. This deck is absolutely fine. You can make some cool combos and some other multiple things. And I like this deck guys, and I hope you enjoy this deck. And if you're first time on my channel, hit the subscribe button, like if you want my other videos, And yeah, see you until next time, guys. Peace.